Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Toplofty Lounge, episode 109. Conversations for the elevated. Welcome to all my fellow snobs. I am your host, Science Fiction Snob, coming directly today from the dugout, ankle deep in water. If you hear any noises in the background that sound like fans, those are the dehumidifiers trying to dehumidify the basement, of the dugout where we are, because it has been raining here in Alberta for the past 2 weeks, fairly steady, either heavy, medium to heavy, occasional, let ups, but then it starts again, and basically the ground is soaking wet everywhere. Everybody, well, not everybody, but lots of people have their basements flooded. The crews are on the sides of the roads in my county, opening up, making sure water is going through the culverts and stuff, because people are complaining, saying, hey, the culverts, you guys haven't been doing your job. The culvert's blocked, and my house is underwater because the culvert's blocked. So crews have been doing that. It's crazy. There's never been this much rain in Alberta. I don't know, ever maybe? I don't know. At least as long as I've been here. It's crazy. I spent the day putting things in boxes, moving things around, trying to get them off the floor so they don't get soaking wet and destroyed. It's been horrible. But that said, let me bring in my co-host. Maybe he can make everything all better. He's the man who isn't afraid of a little flooding. It's Cam. Say hello, Cam.
Oh, hi. I thought you might have forgotten me here.
Oh, salty. That's it. Nothing else.
I said hi.
Okay. Nothing to add. All right. Well, let's say who's in the chat. I see Dave is in the chat. Good to see you, Dave. Mr. Milk Toast can't stay very long, but he hopes to catch some good discussions. We'll try. Sounds like His Majesty needs to build better levees. Yeah, I guess so. Eh? It's like Louisiana here. Wishing luck with things. Yeah, it's not so bad. I mean, the carpet's wet. It's not. I'm not really up to my ankles. Maybe an inch or so of water in certain places. Not in the whole area. Certain places we're sucking it up with the shop vac. We got the dehumidifiers going. The cleaning crew's supposed to come in, but like you call the insurance company, the cleaning crew. I mean, there's a million people. There's tons of them. Everybody needs it. So these guys are probably working 24/7. They're probably having a great old time, making money hand over fist. But we haven't seen them, so we've just been doing our best. Nothing of not much of value has been damaged. Everything's so we're in pretty good shape overall. It's just the carpet's soaking wet, so that may need to be replaced, which wouldn't be so bad if the insurance company pays for it, because hey, carpet's pretty old. It could use some replacement, and maybe some damage to the sides of the walls, right at the bottom. The first inch of the wall, Cam. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
That could be difficult and expensive. You got to replace
that sucks.
drywall at the bottom. That's a big pain in the ass. But sponges, lots of sponges. Mr. Sponge. But we're doing the best we can. But other than that, there's nothing that's really, no electronic equipment is underwater. It's not like a hurricane or something, where everything's destroyed. So we're not doing too bad. Yeah, ditch the carpet for some tiles. That would be good. But the thing is the dugout is very old, and in the basement, it's nice to have carpet. It's a little more cozy than coal tile, because we live in a cold climate up here. Plus, my guess is that the floor isn't perfectly straight, and it would be a bit of a pain to try to put something else down. We've had issues with this house. The bathroom, we got to put some linoleum in there, Cam, and it wasn't flat. I mean, I'm like, who did? You would not believe the stories of this house. that we found when so the guy built it himself originally, and then they redid it in '99. I met someone who used to rent this place and live here, and they said '99. Oh yeah, you should have seen the things that they fixed when they redid a whole bunch of the house. There's all kinds of problems. I'm like, what? Really? Because I fixed a ton of problems when I came in here, so I'm surprised. It was even worse. Weatherman's here. Yeah. Thanks. We appreciate you making an appearance. Yeah. Our most loyal viewer. Welcome. Water damage is partially why American food laws require that all foodstuffs be placed 6 inches off the floor. Yes, that is a good plan. Yes, exactly. All right, Cam, do you want to? You haven't been talking much. You're quiet.
Do you want me to interrupt you in the middle of your story?
No, go ahead. What do you?
Well, breaking news on the tool front.
Breaking news. Oh, yes, we have breaking news on the tool. Do you want to comment on any of the things I said first before we go backwards?
Floods.
No, Cam doesn't care.
The worst thing ever.
All right.
And I feel sorry for anybody that has to go through them.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we've talked enough about my problems. All right. News on the breaking news on the tool front. Go ahead. Oh, wait. Do I have the breaking news? Do I have the breaking news thing? Let me see. Is this it? No, that's just the thing. Oh, we don't have it. Well, I thought I had the breaking. We just go through them all. Well, that's pretty good. No. Breaking zebras. No. Okay, breaking there. That's pretty good. Breaking news. Go ahead, Cam.
Okay. Since those of you.
Oh, there it is. Found it.
Oh, good.
Breaking news.
That's sucks.
It was the first one.
Oh, okay. Okay. For those of you who have been with the channel for a long time, our wildly successful Advent calendar series of shorts from late 2025 for Christmas 2025, with the Vera Advent calendar, tool calendar, the new one for 2026 has just been previewed. I don't know if it's actually I just saw it on the Vera tool website, but apparently not available yet because I also looked on Amazon, which is I think where I got it last time. Not available as of yet, but I will be watching. And Snob has said that I have an unlimited budget for this year since it's been so successful.
That's right, unlimited up to a very small amount.
Anyway,
unlimited, yes.
So that's exciting
because we're so rich here on the program. Yeah. So that's I mean, it is June, almost July. It's six months to Christmas. I guess we should always be looking forward, right? Yeah. I guess. All right. I didn't know they released them 6 months early, but does that open? Do you do pre-orders too? Like,
again, it didn't. It said like watch this space or something like that, So it doesn't. I don't think you could order it in any form or fashion yet, but it will be.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess. We'll let you know. I guess. Do you want to? I enjoyed we didn't get lots of stuff on it, but I enjoyed the tool thing last year. I thought it was cool and interesting. We didn't get a lot of traction on it, but I'd be happy to do it again. Of course, Cam has to do it. I just put pictures up once a week. I don't get to do much. Love your pre-planning there. Weatherman says, my sister was renting an apartment and the roof got a leak. When the maintenance guy tore open the roof and the wall, it was full of dirty clothes, all moldy. Oh my. I had an outside wall. I came here and, this is Alberta. I mean, it gets to, minus 20 regularly Celsius, minus 30 and minus 40 are not out of the area of possibility, though 40 is a little low. But minus 20 to minus 30, pretty standard. Our first winter here, we have a wall that's on the side, and there's a bathroom there. And I would be like, in the bathroom, why is this wall is really cold, right? This wall is really cold. So, the next year we actually had a ton of stuff done to the place, and one of it was, hey, open up this wall and maybe check it out and fix. It was first cam. It is, guess what? The wall is studded, not horizontally, not vertically. Can you believe that?
What?
The wall is studded horizontally, not vertically.
How does that even work?
You just do it, I guess.
Okay, so wait a minute. So there's
what the hell?
Presumably there. Okay, wait a minute. This is a basement wall. Is it? Are they?
No. It's not a basement wall. It is a regular wall.
Okay.
The house, our house is a bungalow. It's a bungalow. It's not in the basement. It was on the main level, and it's a bathroom. That has a side door, bathroom, and then you go out to down the stairs and out to a porch type area type thing. And I'm like, this, you'd be in the bathroom, and I'd be like, this wall is really cold in the winter. I'm like, I wonder what's going on. So we check it out. No, it's not a false wall. It's a real wall. I feel like a boat. I don't know anything about boats. Anyway, it's studded horizontally, not vertically. Instead of the studs don't go up and down on this wall, they go side to side. I mean, it's just a small part of a wall. I guess it's about 12 feet or something like that. And there was absolutely no insulation in there. And I'm like, the guy's like, yeah, there's no insulation in there. I go, well, there you go. That's why it was so cold. No insulation and studded. And that's just one of the small, things that were all kinds of weird stuff.
Wait a minute. I have to understand this. So presumably there are some vertical posts somewhere in that wall, right? Because obviously, if you just put a bunch of horizontal pieces, they would just literally fall to the ground, right? So they have to be connected at their ends.
Yeah. At the ends, there's a vertical, but right. So the wall is, let's say, it's 16 feet. So at 0 and 16, there are studs going up, and then the studs that would normally be, what is it, 2.5 feet or whatever?
Listen carefully. Listen carefully to me. Listen, please. Leave your house now. It is not safe.
It's been 21 years. It's
okay. This is insane because
I think
this has no structural viability.
Yeah, it's only that wall. It's only that wall.
Okay,
and it's only a small piece of it, But anyway, the guy built the place himself, and he just did whatever the F he wanted. It seems he didn't bother to. It was built in the 70s.
This isn't a load-bearing wall because
this place is over 50 years old. Okay. Well, it's an outside wall.
It's an outside wall?
Yeah, it's an outside wall.
Okay, what the hell? Unbelievable. I don't literally so it's 16 feet. That would be a 16-foot unsupported.
Maybe 12. Maybe I'm exaggerating.
Okay, you're just lying now. Okay.
10, 12 feet. I think it's just this one part of this wall. I'm hoping anyway.
Okay. Did you see it without the drywall? Is that how you?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So it's full. Okay. Is the top horizontal, the top cord, is it like extremely deep and robust, like, or is it just like a 2x4?
The top cord, I don't remember. I think I don't remember. We've got, it's a bungalow, right? So it's long. We've got, 2 large wooden, boards, whatever, going through the center of the house, basically on both sides. So it's well, it's well supported. They're like, really, 6 inches thick, and only one wall is about to fall down. No, I mean, it's
okay.
fine.
Okay. All right.
Cam's gonna come next summer, and he's gonna fix.
You should send me a picture of this. Do you have a picture of this?
Well, no. I don't know. Maybe, but I don't think I did. I mean, it was 20 years ago. I don't think I took a picture. Now remember, I didn't see it from the inside. We pulled out the side of the house is got wood siding. So we pulled the wood siding off and looked at it from the outside. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, there was paper, it was tar paper in there and stuff, but there was no insulation, and the studs were going the wrong way. I'm like, what the hell?
Sorry, this is a completely different subject here, but something that I felt is very important is in the States, McDonald's has put out the classic apple pie, the fried apple pie for the America's 250th. anniversary. So it's like the one, with the very crispy outer, shell.
Yeah, I remember
and the molten
yes,
interior.
burn your tongue lava. I remember those from when I was a kid.
I had one the other day and it was glorious.
Oh, was it? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In other news, I'm on a diet this week.
Right. Building inspector. I don't think the place was inspected. I guess. But apparently, like I said, built in the 70s, 99, they redid a ton of stuff, found a whole bunch of mistakes and fixed them. Didn't find them all because I found some. Fried apple pie, they haven't done that since the 80s. Yeah, they got rid of it. I wonder why. I mean, maybe because people were going to sue them for getting their burnt. Man, that thing was hot. Jeez, unbelievably hot. Yeah. All right. Anyway, enough with my house problems. Yeah. So, we should take the breaking news off, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Breaking news. There. Okay. So, let us know in the chat, whatever, if you want to see the Where Are Tools update again this Christmas. I think we should do it. I think it'd be good, but we want to hear from you. I know some people really liked it. I think Dave really liked it. The chat's still talking about the apple pie. They prefer apple pie than Where Are Tools, I guess. Cinnamon sprinkles on the outside. I don't know. Did it have cinnamon sprinkles? I can't remember. The last time I had one I was probably 10 or 12 years old or something.
I don't think so, because because of the baking, or the frying, and then they put it right out. So I don't think they do anything else to it. The newer, the baked ones, the crappy ones, they're not terrible, but they're certainly not great. Those I think have some cinnamon sprinkles on them.
So yeah, they switched to a baking one instead of the fried. So they're doing the fried one. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
They brought the fried one back.
Right. Temporarily.
Maybe I might have to. I don't know. Maybe burn the roof of my mouth. I have one. Dave likes tools, of course. Dave's always in for tools. I knew. Dave for tools. All right. Go with the tool talk. After all, it's your podcast. We can do what we want, but we like to hear from you, the viewer.
We're just freewheeling at this point. It's 109. What are we going to do at this point?
Yeah, we're getting the old. The producer's giving me the extend symbol. So yeah. All right. Anything else, Cam, that you want to talk about?
No.
Tool wise. Anything else? We'll go right into it.
Well.
Oh no.
Okay. This, again, I'm just filling time here. Well, I broadcast from my study, and
really? Fancy.
Yeah, I know.
Study. I've got one too because I'm a snob. See, Cam's a snob too.
Yeah, that's right. I designed my house to be snobbish, specifically. And oddly enough, I designed it for parties.
Really?
Yes.
Because we know what a party animal that Cam is.
Well, see, things change. But anyway, so it was the floor in my study was an absolute mess, covered with game books, tool bags, tools of all sorts, and now it's just slightly messy. So I cleaned all that up this week. I cleaned it up, and I shoved most of it behind my sofa in an orderly fashion.
That's good. Hide it behind the sofa.
Well, I mean, there's nothing back there, So, I basically I organized some things, cleaned it up, packed it. I still have a ton of stuff to put together. All these tool bags that are in a state of partial, completion, and just as more in relation to the other show that I do with our friend Jeff, Death Angel Shadow, on the Bad News Bards channel. Go ahead and check that out after this exciting show.
Yes, don't leave now.
Right. I also got my role-playing books in 95% in order. So
in your study.
Yeah, right. Because again, it's I've got I have a ton of I told you about the reorganizing the basement game shelves and such. And I had a lot of old role-playing stuff that I've been accessing a lot more recently. And so it's been in like storage bins, but now it's made it out onto different shelves. So some of them are on the shelves downstairs, some of them are in the study. So I've been, Jenga-ing them and mixing and matching to try and get the right combination. So when I get my camera, you'll see all the cool books in the background, like all the other cool kids do.
When you get your camera?
Oh, that would be never.
Never. Oh yeah. All right. What about Mr. Milktoast wants to know: do you have a formal dining room in your place?
No, absolutely not. A formal dining room to me is the dumbest thing in the world, unless you're rich. Because obviously, if you have formal parties and such where you're entertaining in that fashion, then it totally makes sense. But a dining room in a something short of a mansion to me is stupid. So I don't
Well,
want to give away too many secrets,
people
but
used to have them all the time, but you're
right,
right. Now
right. It was, but what happens in dining rooms mostly, right? They just gather
sit
junk
there,
and right, and it
gather
just
china, and
so in my mind, it was just a room that kind of blocked off other rooms. So I opted for a open concept home in which I actually have an extremely large kitchen, which would some people would qualify that as a dining room, but it's not a separate room.
right.
So yeah.
So it's not really. That's not really a dining room.
Oh, I would not call it a dining room.
No, because a dining room has to be separate from the kitchen, right?
Yes.
That way the servants can go and fix the meals while
That's right.
you
Yeah.
drink wine with your pinky.
Well, see, if I was truly rich, I would have a great hall, which would serve that purpose, for those large formal dinners. I'm not going to have no rinky-dink dining room where you try and squeeze 6 people in it, and
that's right.
You
got to get all the entire Viking company in there, right?
That's right.
So they can drink and pinch the bottoms of wenches and all that stuff.
Well, I won't get into that, but anyway, so I just kind of revealed some secrets there that I designed.
I know. I was about to say that Cam. This is mark this on your calendars, loyal viewers. It was episode 109. Cam revealed more about himself in this episode than ever before in history. I think I've just tripled my knowledge about him in this just one episode. I mean, we know he lives in a house. I thought he lived in a van down by the river.
Right.
But we know he lives in a house and he doesn't have a dining room. I mean, internet, do your thing. Go and find Cam where he lives. Oh, someone's just messaged me on Discord. Oh, they've already found you, Cam.
No. Dave, yes, I would absolutely have a butler's pantry. I would go the full 9 yards with that stuff. I'd have a staircase for the servants to go up and down.
That would be cool.
Absolutely.
That'd be cool.
But unfortunately, I am. I'm never going to be that rich.
Stick with me, Cam. I'll take you there. Or Jeff will, maybe. Maybe Jeff will.
Wait. I'm sorry. I meant to set up a breakfast nook.
Yeah. We had a breakfast nook in the kitchen and never used the dining room.
I think that's it. Nobody uses it for dining
nowadays. Nobody does it anymore.
Right.
Ours is we have the kitchen, a little counter with 3 stools, and then right next to that is quote the dining room, which is really just an extension of the kitchen.
Yeah.
It has a table you can sit at. And it's not really a nook because you can put a table and put 6 people on the table and stuff, but
right.
4 to 6,
whatever.
But
okay, we've driven away most of the viewers, but thank you for you guys who are sticking around. Shall we move on to the topics?
I think we should move on to the topics. All right. Though that was very enlightening. I wrote all this stuff down. It's going into my little computer about info on Cam. It's a study, lots of tools in it. No dining room, etc. All right. Okay, so we're going to talk about Supergirl. Now, neither Cam, you haven't seen the movie, have you?
I have not, nor will I.
I have not either. It is but the word that we're getting, I mean, everyone thought it would be a horrible movie. And the word is, it's a horrible movie. People are saying horrible, horrible things about it.
Okay.
Do not see this movie. They're saying all kinds of nasty, really, really bad.
The usual suspects, the anti-woke crowd, who I typically would agree with on many things, but it is kind of an industry to be like against things, out there. So, there are people that call that out and they're not totally wrong, but it's also not totally wrong to say this movie sucks. I can't say that, but I mean, for other people, I believe them that they're being sincere when they said that. However,
Yeah.
Clownfish TV, who I do respect, and side note, I've actually met Neon in person, but they said it wasn't as bad as people are saying, but they also, I believe, they said it wasn't Supergirl. It was like, yeah, okay, if it was something else, it would have been like, okay. Meaning they're not totally negative about it, but they still didn't. I don't think they liked it as a Supergirl movie.
Right. Well, I followed all the usual suspects, and they said horrible things. But I also found, listened to a couple of on the, people who are not quite at that level. Jester Bell, a couple other ladies who reviewed the movie, and they say it was horrible as well. They basically said the same thing, and what they described was, really bad. Like, you're hearing the description, and then you do this, and then that, and there's no plot. Like, this is the plot.
Weatherman.
Crypto gets poisoned. Let's find the antidote. Stuff like that. Like, it's just really, really.
Yeah, exactly. Is all the Superman stuff going to be about something happening to Crypto? Is that it?
I guess so.
Okay, well,
and Superman is treated as an idiot in the movie. He's not in it much, but he's treated similar to the way they treated him in the movie last year.
Yeah,
it's just just seems horrible. I mean, you really want to see Supergirl throw up, and twice you see her on the can taking a piss. This is in the movie. I mean,
let's. I didn't know that. It doesn't surprise me, I suppose.
There's a scene. There's a scene with her puking, and two different scenes of her pissing. Oh, she's on the can, and she's all messy and just
super classy.
It's really, really.
Again,
really
this is an indication of Tom King is. I've talked about Tom King before. I will spare you my rant. He should never work in comics again, or at least not be able to touch anyone else's creations, because he's just a POS.
But here's the thing: they didn't follow that story.
That's what I heard.
It's not like they're following
it's not the story, but they are following the characterization though. As I understand it. Which is again this deconstruction, degradation of a character. If you want to contrast, you've got Supergirl from Crisis on Infinite Earths, right, where Supergirl's killed. Sorry, spoilers for 30 years ago.
She's killed. I just saw that movie, and she becomes Harbinger. Is that what you mean?
No.
Okay, I'm talking about the movie.
I didn't see that part, I guess, but in the original, the actual comic, she is killed saving Superman from the Anti-Monitor, who was beating him to death. Awesome heroic death, died saving Superman, and again, this is of course in 1985, before there were female superhero characters, I'm told by the morons of 2017 and forward, but
that's right.
Contrast that with whatever this is, and this, there used to be this thing about role models, right, and superheroes, and like a positive portrayal of something used to be something that you would want, right? It's like, oh yeah, this X identity thing was portrayed, but they were portrayed as a criminal or a bad thing, so that's horrible. Well, that's all out the door. It's these identity obsessed freaks it's like, yay, I can cheer the thing that I can project myself onto, whatever that might be, not having anything to do with the actual portrayal, and we'll get to that later, and cheer it, and it doesn't matter how disgusting or lowly it is. It's just like, yay, it's me. Come on. This is the whole premise of this is garbage. So admittedly, I didn't see it. I can't actually judge it on any details of the plot, but this is more of the same garbage we've had for a decade or more. Pissing all over these iconic characters, and then And then on top of that, you have these actors or actresses go out and run their stupid mouths about whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, come on. And again, eh, eh, I, I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot here, but our friends who have held on to it's like, oh, maybe the Superman was going to be something good and everything. It wasn't that good. It was mediocre. Uh, and
Yeah.
and now you're back to utter garbage. Why would you have expected more from James Gunn?
Yeah. And they're still treating Superman like a piece of, right? Like he should be inspirational. People should look up to him, right? Like, oh, it's Superman. But he's one part is described in this movie. I haven't seen either, but they're described like he's at the beginning of the movie. He's, she's on a drunken binge celebrating her quote birthday week, right? Ugh, anybody who has a birthday week.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's calling her. He's like, and he's, they treat him as like a bitch. He's like, so hey, like of course she ignores his call. She doesn't pick up, right? But he's like, hey, Kara, it's your cousin. How you doing? Maybe I know you're out there. Maybe pick up the phone and blah blah. Like this. What a
this is just again the worship of this kind of just pathetic human behavior is just disgusting. I can't tell you how much I hate it. You know what? See, here's the thing. Someone pontificating, and again, I apologize, but
wait. Let me get the rant graphic.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
Go Cam.
People in the past who had some kind of trouble, right? I have great sympathy for people that have real trouble in their lives and are, especially if they're victims of someone else or they're just down on their luck or whatever. And those, people used to be like, how can I get out of the situation? How can I improve? Now it seems like it's not only it's encouraged that people just remain in whatever pathetic state there is. And if they're not, push them into a pathetic state. This is not good for humanity. I don't know where these freaks think that this is going to end up. What are they hoping to accomplish by pushing this stuff? And again, it's not like this has some grand point that's like, oh, yes, she really went through it and she overcame this or that. No, the character is still trash. I don't know.
Well, I mean, just from what I understand from the movie is that she's on a drunken binge the whole time, and at the end, there's a bit of a sort of like, all right, well, she finally puts on the super suit and quote saves the day by killing the bad guy.
Oh,
she kills the bad
yes,
guy.
Because the Superman family are known for murder. That's their hallmark.
And then she stops this. The story is that the guy who poisoned Supergirl's dog is also this guy who killed this girl's family. And the girl comes to her and they meet up and is like, oh, and Supergirl basically treats her like shit. No, don't leave me alone. Go away. But she follows Supergirl along, the other kid. Anyway, she wants to kill the bad guy, the kid. And she's like, no, don't do that. It won't save you. It won't change you. Right. And she's like, okay. And then she kills them. She kills the bad guy.
Yeah.
Even at the end of the movie, she's like, all right, well, I guess, maybe I shouldn't be drinking so much. And, and then they're like, hey, let's go drinking to celebrate.
Yeah. Mr. Melkto says art helps them deal with their trauma. Well, first of all, most of their trauma is fake. Their victimhood has become fake victimhood has become a currency. And so these people it's not any one group. It's across, large numbers of people of various groups. Their lives are so spoiled that they have to come up with some kind of fake victimhood to claim, oh, I have trauma. So so they can pretend to overcome something that they never had in the first place. Good evening, Outpost Nerd.
Yeah, evening. But even, dealing with something, you need to go past it and, get better for it. Dealing, I have all this trauma. Okay. And I'm going to drink myself silly. Okay. End of the movie.
But if you deal with it and move past it, then you're no longer a fake victim.
Yeah. Well, they don't do that though. Right. part of it is, I think it's the fundamental. It's this fundamental difference between men and women. I think part of it.
Sexism alert.
You know,
Sexism alert.
yeah. We have, the hero's journey. You have, the hero. He's, he finds out he's the hero. He rejects the hero, and then he, something happens. His family's killed or whatever. He's got he embraces his journey. He, goes to see the mentor. He gets trained up. He fights the bad guy. He loses. He goes back, trains more. He fights the bad guy and finally wins. Right? Like that's a classic, hero's journey in a nutshell. Well, female superheroes, they can't ever have, you are always good enough. It's for them, the hero's journey is always, you take this journey.
Capability is never their problem, right?
Yeah. Well, you either find out you were good enough from the beginning, or you didn't need to change.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what the female version of it is, for whatever reason. They can't be seen to be weak or needing help or anything like that. Weatherman, they're comparing this to Suicide Squad and talking about a little about that, but I think Suicide Squad is a totally different thing. Suicide Squad works because all the characters are miserable. Are miserable characters giving a last chance, but Superman and Supergirl are far from that type of character to work with being miserable. Yeah, exactly. Like, Suicide Squad it's a bunch of villains, right? I mean, It's the anti-hero at least. Good enough with no training or experience. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. So anyway, this movie sounds just horrible.
Yeah.
And some people are saying, is it better than some people are saying, it's worse than the Marvels, or it's better than the Marvel, or it's not as bad as the Marvels. I think some people say it's not. The Marvels are better than this, because at least that movie is not. They don't crap on the heroes so much.
Yeah, and officially, we can't really judge this movie on specifics. We could just judge it on the approach that is very clear.
Yeah. Well, it's exactly what everybody thought.
Yeah.
So if you're checking out, the usual suspects, the top guys in the pop culture area, the Nerdrotics, the heel versus babyface, critical drinker, all those guys, they all basically said it's.
I think even the people that were, predisposed to like this are kind of like,
Grace Randall doesn't like it.
Right. And she likes all kinds of crap.
Do you know who Chris Gore is?
Yeah.
Film Threat, right? And Alan Ing is his partner, I guess, right?
Yep.
And I think does Alan like everything almost?
I'm not sure. I've seen him be fairly positive about a lot of things, but
yeah. Did you see him on Wednesday? They came out of the theater and they both did an immediate reaction, like right outside the theater on their phone and stuff. And Alan, who I understand is fairly positive usually, he said profoundly awful, or profoundly horrible. He said profoundly and some sort of word that said it was really bad. So if Alan doesn't like it, I mean, it can't be good. That's I was like, oh, Alan doesn't like it.
Yeah,
it must be
I mean,
bad.
they're not even on the right track with the DC stuff at this point. They again,
no, Gunn is blown it.
Yeah, and
he should be fired.
Yeah, and he shouldn't have been hired in the first place. He has a certain style which might work for some things. Again, Guardians of the Galaxy, people liked it. I
enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy overall.
But
the three movies were reasonable.
It's a valid criticism to say it's like these are it's the kind of the same thing, slapped over anything else. Same thing with Zack Snyder. It's like, he did some stuff earlier in his career that was kind of cool. It's like, and for a time, and it's like, well, now you're in your rut, and it's like you really can't break out of it. This is what you do. And
Supergirl is not the Suicide Squad.
Right.
It is not Guardians of the Galaxy. Right. It's Superman, Supergirl.
Right.
They're completely different, right? Batman and Superman is not the same. You can't make the same type of movie, a Batman movie versus a Superman movie, right? Like they're different. Yeah. Well, why would you try to make Supergirl like Harley Quinn or Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not.
And Harley should be shot out of a cannon into the sun and never appear in a comic again. The worst thing, one of the worst things that has happened to comics in the last 50 years.
Cam does not like Harley Quinn.
No, and I will go to my grave saying that the claims of her being invented are BS, and it was a ripoff of the earlier Harlequin character. But some people might fight me on that. Anyway, Mr. Melkso says Gunn wants to focus on second, third string characters and craft stuff. Well, okay, fine. Let him do that crap. Don't give him let him control headline characters like Superman, Supergirl, Green Lantern.
Yeah, give him a side character. Here, go off and do your Suicide Squad, your Guardians of the Galaxy. You can't have that guy in charge of everything. He's doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. Weatherman says that Richard Donner Superman was conflicted, not miserable. Yeah, and right.
So Cam, what is your? We're a little bit off. What is your favorite Superman? Movies and TV. Let's say.
Well, you know what? I haven't watched the recent Superman and Lois show, but I heard that was actually pretty good. I've seen some snippets of it, which I have liked, but it was connected to the Supergirl TV show, which was crap. So that kind of warded me off of it.
I've seen basically all of the Supergirl because we started watching with my daughters and stuff.
Whew.
But they lost interest around season 4. First 2 seasons are pretty good. After that, the woke stuff gets in there and it becomes everybody is LGBT something and immigration, Trump, stuff like that. And you're just like, but the character of Supergirl is pretty good. It's done correctly. She seems like Supergirl, right?
I watched the beginning of it. I don't think it was a full season. I watched some of it and it was like, it's okay.
Yeah, they at least got the character right.
Yeah, it wasn't horrible. But for the time, let's see. I'm just reading the Superman animated series. Harley Quinn. I agree. If you're talking about the classic Harley
Superman, of the ones
Oh, okay. A favorite. Well, I mean, I gotta love Christopher Reeve. The originals. I love Superman 2. Like when I was younger, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that. Sorry, go ahead.
But I would go for a comic. A version of Superman, and my favorite would be John Byrne. Although I love earlier stuff too. I think John Byrne's Superman, and I know I'm outside of your question here, but John Byrne's reboot of Superman, which is what it was actually quite good. But acknowledging that it is a reboot.
Yeah. So Mr. Mukto says Supergirl was a case of great portrayal of the character for the Supergirl TV show with Melissa Benoist is what you're talking about. Yeah, I would agree that she did a good portrayal of the character. She was sufficiently naive at the start of the show, everything like that. But I mean, it wasn't a great show. It was a passable show for the first couple of seasons, and then after that, it just went too far to the left, and just even my daughters, who it was aimed at, and we would all watch it. It would be a thing. Like, oh, it's weekly Supergirl. Let's watch it, and they would all sit down when they're a lot younger. It would be a thing that we would do, and then they were like. They just lost interest. They're like, this is stupid. Like at the end, they're like, this is dumb. Wow, this is... Yeah, and I was just like shaking my head too. In the Supergirl TV show, they had Linda Carter as a secret alien who became president to stand in for Hillary. Yeah, that was sort of, I think, was she standing for Hillary? She was definitely there, Linda Carter. She was a secret alien. It was like, oh, Linda Carter, that was cool. And she's the president, and then, oh, she's an alien.
Mr. Melktos mentioned about Harley Quinn, like in the original. Well, not the original, but Harley Quinn in the Batman animated series when she first showed up there wasn't bad. But it's absolutely obnoxious now. And then he also mentions the 40s animated, which was Fleischer. Those are awesome. If you the animation from so long ago, it's unbelievable how good it was. So you can find those, around, I guess on YouTube or something. It's like a Fleischer Superman animated, and those are really worth checking out.
I would, of course, for me, it's the Donner. Christopher Reeves is as Superman. He's got the right mix of confidence and humbleness and leadership, everything. Like that's the way that Superman should be portrayed for me.
Yeah, Christopher was great. But you know what? I have to admit, I watched Smallville the whole way through. I was like, this show's gonna suck, and then someone watched it and said, you should check it out, at the beginning. It's not a great show, it has high points and low points, and as it went on, it's like this should have ended before. But not the worst take on a pre-Superman, Clark Kent.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Okay, so just going back to if you don't want to listen to the big names, there's also a couple of smaller names that did reviews. Jester Bell, you will aware of her, Cam.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of she's kind of mid-tier, 40. How many subs does she have?
So huge compared to us.
100K subs.
Okay, so she's a god compared to us.
She's pretty big. Yeah. But so that like second tier. But I've watched a bunch of her stuff. She's pretty good. So I'm just saying, if you're like Cam and you doubt the big names because they just seem to crap on everything, you can check out the sort of the middle tier stuff, and they're basically saying the same thing. And these are women, and they're supposed to be aimed at them, and they're trashing it too. So yeah, that's a great quote. I like that one, Mr. Milktoast. Yeah. So okay, Superman. Supergirl. All right.
I'm sure.
Sorry, you have more?
No, I was just gonna say I'm sure Madman will probably cover it on his show, but I heard that this came in at about 38 million domestic, which is on the low end of their reducing scale, I think.
So that was my next thing I was going to do. I've got by the numbers up.
Okay.
It says maybe I should refresh, but I think that'll be the Sunday numbers. Yeah, it's got a 38,000 gross domestic. So supposedly it made 30 million. Yeah, excuse me. Supposedly it made 30 million overseas, but 38 million US Canada. That's so the latest prediction on like Wednesday, Thursday was somewhere between 55 and 39. So it got 38. So that is below the
I think Warner Brothers had said
38.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, 30, as Mr. Mukto says, 38 domestically is nothing short of terrible. Yes, it is horrible. It is under what they thought it would get, which was already, they were cutting it down over the past couple of weeks. This is really, that's a big kick in the teeth for them.
Yeah, and I heard that I think Warner Brothers said if it reaches 300 million, they would be pleased with it or something. And someone was saying, yeah, BS. It's more like 500 million to break even, but I doubt they're going to make 300 million. This sounds pretty bad.
Yeah. So they say the budget. They say the budget is 175. Somebody was just saying, or 170. Someone was saying they just changed that and made it 186. So that's way
before advertising.
Below. Yeah, that's production.
Not to mention,
right?
people don't think about this because no one ever talks about it. But it's like the money they're bringing in, the theaters still get a portion of that, right?
They get half.
It might not be half at the very beginning. It depends. It varies.
It ends up. You can use 50% as a rough over the course of the movie, right? Because it changes. It changes the first week versus the last week,
so
that kind of stuff. So
19 million is what they're bringing in.
Yeah. So the normal thing. So you take the movie. Let's say it's 175 million, right? So double it. So that's because the marketing budget is usually about the same as the movie. So that's what's that? 350, and then double it again because they only get half. So you need to make that would be 700 million in this example. Maybe not quite double. So maybe 605, at least 500 to 600 million. There's no way it'll make that. It will not get to 300 million. There's no way.
I'll post nerd.
It's just.
I'm sorry. We're talking about Supergirl. I'm gonna snack while we're just going on. I got to get through this.
Yeah, Supergirl has about 180. Well, 170, 175 was what it was said. Someone said the other day it's came out and said, "Oh, it's 186."
Yeah,
it's probably
it's not breaking even. I'm a Warner Brothers stockholder. I'm screwed.
Yeah. Yeah. 2.5 times the production budget. Yeah, that's pretty much just to break even. 2 to 2.5 times. There's no way they're going to get. They'll be lucky if they get 300 million. There's no way. I mean, we'll talk about this on Madman Show on Tuesday, but there's Minions coming out. Spider-Man is coming out in the end of next month. It's just there's no way. Supergirl came in second on its opening week to Toy Story 5, and Toy Story 5 killed it. 70 million gross, doubled it. I mean, there's no way. I'm curious. I can't wait to see next week. I wonder if it's still going to beat Obsession. Obsession came just under 10 million this week. I wonder if it's going to make.
I mean, this is going to have it's going to have like a 70% drop off or something like that.
Oh, at least I think. Imagine, Obsession might beat it next week. Just to break even, they have to double the budget to break even. They need advertising budget on top of that too. Yeah. Will Supergirl make more money than Masters of the Universe? Who knows? It's just looking really, really bad. So it's pretty much toast, I think. Everything we thought would happen happened. All right. Anything else? Cam on Supergirl?
Nope.
Talk a little bit about something a little bit better. Oh, so Snob, would you say our predictions last week came true? It looks like it came in under. I mean, I was saying the 39 to 50. I was the one saying 39 to 55 is what people are predicting.
All right, Snob said they had already dropped it.
And they did worse than that.
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty bad. The Supergirl movie in the 80s did pretty poorly. Mm-hmm. I think it's probably better than this one, though. All right. Okay, we're moving on to Conan. Now, this is not a picture of Conan, of course. This is from Primal. Cam, do you want to talk about this? I got another.
Well,
let's go with this.
I don't know that much about it, but this is coming through from Amazon, right? With from Tartakovsky.
Yeah, so Gennady Tartakovsky, the legend, is going to do a Conan the Barbarian. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, again, I don't know that much about it, but this. Okay, so a lot of people are rightfully being like, "Uh-oh, this is going to suck because Amazon." But here's why I am holding out hope for it, because Tartakovsky has kind of a reputation for demanding a certain amount of control.
Yeah,
which is one of the reasons I think why he didn't end up doing the more Clone Wars, or at least that's
yeah. He was tagged to do Clone Wars. You're right. Yeah, but he didn't do it. Yeah.
Well, he did the short, the first one, the 2D one, and then I think he wanted more control, and they couldn't work that out with Lucas or whatever at the time, and so he didn't do it. I have enough trust in him to check it out, but if he doesn't have a lot of control or goes forward with it, not being able to do what he wants, then I would say the odds go way, way down.
Yeah, I have a lot of faith in him. I will watch anything that he does. Samurai Jack, great. Primal, great. There was the unicorn one he did, which was interesting, but it didn't grab me. It was like a 19th century steampunk-ish sort of thing with a bunch of weird characters. It didn't last very long. It wasn't as well received.
As we discussed previously, he was also involved with Powerpuff Girls.
Yes. but he is a great. He's great. Everything he does, he does the best he can. He does something interesting. I mean, I think this will be good. I'll watch this for sure. Check it out.
Do you want to?
I mean, that's a pretty good shot. Supposedly, here it says here at the beginning. I mean, this is just came out like last week. There's very, very little about it on this. Conan the Barbarian, Queen of the Black Coast animated series. After finding love with a pirate queen, battle-hardened Conan will defy gods, fate, and even death to save her from dark sorcery that threatens to destroy everything. So, I mean, we don't have too much about that.
So this sounds like is this just a movie or is it?
No, I think it's a series.
Okay. It sounds like a short series. I mean, this doesn't sound like, it sounds like a kind of a specific story.
Well, I mean, that could just be, season 1, right?
I guess.
And then, go on. He's not going to give away too much. If it hits well, then they'll go on. Conan the Barbarian. Yeah, Conan the Barbarian fits perfectly with Tartakovsky's signature style, male-centric heroes. I mean, there's people who say that Primal was a test, like a kind of a test bed to get him to say, hey, I want to do Conan. Look what I'm doing here. I don't know if that's true or not, but Primal is good on its own. I hope it's Samurai Jack style so we can get Conan Jack Mako Aku crossover. I think his style kind of evolves. It's got some aspects to it. I don't think it would be in the Samurai Jack style because that's 20 years old, right? They do things a little bit differently.
Well, the storyline you described here is a little bit alarming. Not necessarily, but Conan is so unacceptable to the modern audience, right? Just what Conan is. His directness and Conan is not a victim at all, right? He does not appeal to that crowd at all. They could not. He is extremely capable and although simple, right? First of all, Conan isn't stupid, but he isn't sophisticated, right?
Yeah.
And he solves problems, with his sword a lot of times, or his muscles and everything. But he's not a dullard. But he is ignorant of a lot of things. But he's again, the directness and just, that is inherent to the character. You can't get rid of that and have it be that character. And I don't, well, again, you could do it. It's not that you can't do it. It's just, I don't know how today's audience is going to take that. I mean, I can imagine they'd be horrified by it. It's like, oh my God, this guy that, someone wronged him, so he killed him. How can he do such a thing? He needed to apologize for, offending the guy or whatever crap they would, come up with.
Well, I've seen the first 3 seasons of Primal, and there's no woke garbage in there. Spear is direct, and he's happy to stab people and kill them.
Okay.
I'm
not saying that Tarkovsky would shy away from that, but Primal is not Conan. You know what I'm saying? There's no name to it to speak of. This is not something that most people even ever heard of. Conan is a fairly big name, and it will, be exposed to the larger modern audience and have to deal with that.
Okay, so we'll break you down as skeptical. Is that
No, I'm maintaining hope for this. I'm just saying that I will enjoy seeing the reaction to it if it is done right. I will. Okay, yes, Udal says, Crom laughs at your sophisticated modern audience. He'll judge them, ask them the riddle, and cast them from his mountain. Yes.
I don't understand why anyone would think anything else of Conan. Like if you are watching, it's like watching a Hallmark movie, and I'm mad that there's not enough explosions and car chases and sword fights in it. I mean, what
because what look what they did to
what the
Luke
hell?
Skywalker. Look what they do to all these characters. Of
But
that's they would delight in that. Conan being a simpering little twerp who's like, oh, let's talk about it or whatever. Um, that would be the ultimate triumph for them.
yeah, but
Again, I'm not predicting that's going to happen, but um, that's
I
what
just
they would want to
I
see.
would just be surprised that Tartovsky would do anything like that. Like he's already done. He's shown he does likes doing heroic characters, Samurai
Mhm.
Jack, um, Spear and Primal and stuff like that. I can't imagine he would sign up for anything if
No,
he
I
wasn't
don't
able
either.
to do Conan the way you're going to do Conan. I mean, it's Conan,
Well,
barbarian. He's a
okay,
barbarian. He likes women, drinking, and killing.
right. So it all adds up, right? And now again, Amazon has a horrible track record with adaptations.
You're thinking of Rings of Power.
Well, yeah,
Well, but you know what? Okay, I know what you're going to say, but the thing about Rings of Power is they're basically letting them do whatever they want on Rings of Power, right?
right.
And the people are going
They
crazy, and
gave
they're
$1
doing,
billion to morons.
yeah.
Um,
So if they give money to Tartovsky, they're not likely to
right,
mess with him,
right.
right? Since they don't seem to care. Like here I am over here destroying Lord of the Rings. Okay, whatever. We don't care. Okay, we're not going to bother. This is for Amazon, yeah, and it's not live action.
Well,
Saying it's
okay,
too toxic, really.
okay. Did it talk in here about what's the age range for this? Is this
Didn't say.
because it said something about Cartoon Network, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's for kids, right? Like,
Well, Cartoon Network branding is generally still for younger audiences, right?
yeah. Generally speaking, Tartakovsky does whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of blood and guts in Primal. In Samurai Jack, there's a lot of cutting, but most things end up being machines. So oil spurts out instead of blood. I think that was it is, and it's set in the future, so it's kind of he's always chopping up machines more than anything. So I don't know if that was particularly it's somewhat graphic, but again, they're all machines, so nobody cares. But maybe that was just so that you could be you could put it on in Germany or something like that. So who knows what the
well, Weatherman brings up a good point here.
See, I agree. He will want to do Conan properly. If he leaves, then Amazon's trying to DEI. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't see why he would agree to do it unless he had creative control, because that's what he does, and he does excellent work because he controls it, and he makes it the way it should be made. If they hire him, they would be stupid to mess with with what he does. Everything he does is pretty much everything he does is good.
Yeah.
There was this other show he's trying to do. He put out a tester for it, and it looked really cool, but it didn't go through. No one wanted to buy it. I think it was a Japanese style fighting robots type of thing, set in and I was like, wow, that's a great idea. If Amazon thought the live action show was bad, why would it be okay with animated version? I don't know. Good question. Sorry, Cam.
I was just gonna say, so all things considered, I think that it is, I think it could work.
Hoot Owl. I don't know if Amazon execs saw Stargate is too toxic. They just saw it as not for the audience. They wanted to, they were going to make it for the audience that what am I saying here? That they wanted it to be made for another audience. Like the showrunners had this idea, we're going to make it like this. We're going to make it for the people who like Stargate. They said, no, we wanted you to make it for somebody else. They're like, well, what the hell? Those people won't see it. So, I don't know. It seems strange. Maybe, animation is different. This is not usually a monolith. These companies are not monoliths. There's different people who push different executives who push different ideas. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I just can't imagine Tartovsky doing anything that he didn't think was going to be successful and doing the best job at it, just because he's got such a great track record. great story, great animation, everything. He puts the care into it. So, but we can see.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking. I will check this out for sure. Just on the strength of his, I would watch anything that that Tartovsky would do. I watch anything, at least the first show, just to see, because he's such a great storyteller.
Fanboy.
I check it out. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a fanboy with him. Like I said, everything I've seen is pretty good of his. So yeah. Conan is short series, while starting with a long running series. Maybe who knows what the reasons executives do stuff. Ugh, crazy kids. Yeah. All right, we are going to look that one up though. I'll be looking for it. I don't know when it's supposed to be out. This is just the first little bit of information. We don't know anything about when it's coming out or anything like that. Yeah, it's just announced. No, nothing else. Okay, so we'll look into that and see what happens. All right. So Cam, are you ready?
Yeah.
You don't want to talk about this? No? Scare the audience away?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got the wrong one. So Cam and I, we've been following the Amazing Digital Circus, and we did a bunch of stuff on it. We talked about it a little while. So the we both saw the show when it came out in theaters, and it was released on the 19th of June. It came out for consumption. So we both watched it again to see if our impressions changed or anything we missed, anything like that. So Cam, what do you got to say?
Okay, the one thing that I think we talked about, I don't remember if it was before or after, but what I wasn't sure of and wanted to confirm was about when Kane returned.
Right.
Even though that's not particularly well explained, they had the whole sequence where he was like running for the door and all that, and I, having seen it again, hey, take care, Mr. Montos.
Yeah, see you later, Mr. Montos. Thanks.
Oh, okay. Weatherman's sticking in right on.
Right on.
Is that they had the sequence at the end where it was a parallel where they were showing the near past and then the distant past when he was the proto AI before he formed into Kane fully, and they were flashing back and forth between those things. And I didn't pick up on that as clearly the first time. I was like, wait a minute, there was, when I was watching it, I didn't pick up on it, and then I was thinking about it. I'm like, what was that was? And so I think that's 100%.
Okay, so what do you think that part was then? Because this is the part
so they show Kane when he's coming, in the void, after he's been supposedly deleted. Okay, and then he rips Bubble out of his head, or the blue AI, and discards it. Because he has some episode where he's like, they tried to kill me or whatever, he's going back and forth. And then he kind of pulls that out, and then he's more, he kind of loses that hostility that he ended up with. And then they show him like, kind of going towards the door. And then it flashes to, you see the red AI, the dot, and it's going towards something. And then they're going back and forth between this. And as you recall in episode 8, you saw the red AI was like trapped after, they had the sequence where it started and then, so in this, they show it breaking out, through there as Kane is breaking out, getting through this barrier in the void.
So what do you think? What do you think that is then?
Which
that
one?
Is both, are those separate incidents there?
Yes. Yes. We're seeing the original AI develop and come in and start the circus, which is what were shown in very abstract form in episode 8. And then we're also seeing paralleled with that. And again, like I said, they're switching back and forth between here. Over a long period of time. This is years between these two events. And then Kane now in the void coming back where he ends up in the circus again in the current time.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't see it that way. I still don't see it that way. I think it's just flipping between. It's like flipping between the representation of a character and the code of a character, right? So they're further.
Well, okay, go ahead. I'll explain to you why that's not true, though.
Okay, so that's what I think, because they go on the exact same journey. It's almost the same, pieces of geometric shapes that they're putting up there. I think it's just letting people know that, hey, this is the AI, and then you've got the cartoon version of Kane, who's the red AI, versus what he actually sort of looks like. And he goes to okay, so the reason I think it's true is because the cartoon version goes to the blue door, right? It says blue cafe, free Wi-Fi, and if you look really closely, the red AI dot goes towards the mind files. That's what it's going towards,
right? If
you look. So, and then of course it goes in and he gets the files. So to me, they both get the same thing.
Yeah, they're mixing that up. No, let me tell you why I think you're missing it here. Is because the red AI, which is forming into Kane as he goes along, he starts out as a dot and then he's growing hands and all that stuff, is he gets into the mind files, the original mind files. And then we see him create the circus originally. And then what's the dog's name? Scratch. He pulls that mind file, which was the inventor, the guy who made the mind reader,
which is assumingly the first
right.
File
he doesn't come right. So they're showing this event that happened in the past. This is not happening currently. And he was the first one he brought in there. And then so it's he's in those original files of people, and then when he's at the blue door, he's accessing the newer people's files, and that's when he looks up the information about the real people.
All right,
out in the real world.
That does make sense.
Yeah, so again, it wasn't clear to me the first time, but if you watch it again, it's pretty clear that they're shifting between these two timelines.
I just watched it again with my daughter, and she says she thinks, same as I, that it was just the same thing going on. They're just flipping between different representations of the character, the cartoon representation versus the sort of a more digital. Okay. But I'm going to watch it again.
How do you?
You make a good point. You make a good
Scratch point. Showing up. Them showing Scratch showing up then.
Yeah,
because he doesn't show up.
That's a good point.
And if he could do that, then he could recreate anybody.
Yeah, why not just bring back? Well, unless they abstract it, but
right, which means their files are corrupted.
Their files are corrupted, or he's not able to do anything.
And again, he accesses this. There's two different things happening here. The one ends at the one of this parallel thing ends with the creation of the circus and Scratch being made into a character from the mind file, and the other one,
you're right,
ends up with him finding out what happened to the real people.
Yeah, you're right.
So
that's a good point.
Okay, so that's one thing. There's some other nonsense here that now Gooseworks, the writer, has been known to troll people before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this whole I don't know what's true, what's not, but I saw other people talking about this. It's like, because there's this whole contingent that's like, Jax is a hero to us or whatever. Like these. I don't know who they are exactly, but guys. And then it's like, oh no, you see, Jax is a trans femme that's the term used by Gooseworks to describe Jax, but It also in that describes him as he, and also says that, even though that's the intention, it doesn't mean that anyone else's view isn't valid or something, some kind of cop out BS crap. it's like, well, if you're going to do something, you know, and I said that's great, except for the portrayal, which, you know, is again, we talked about this in relation to other things. It's like, are you not sure what you're portraying? And I have to remember that the other people that are processing this stuff, they're all these let me try to be kind. They, without adding adjectives to this, they are all people that buy into this coded thing. Oh, it's coded. Yes. This is coded. This is coded. It's like, you know what that means? That means it's a garbage story that doesn't commit or doesn't portray something clearly to pander to weirdos who incessantly want to project whatever their fetish is on entertainment. The thing if you were to name one thing that destroys entertainment and storytelling, I would have to say that's it. Maybe shipping, as the other possibility. Shipping is good. But this coded, it's like, no, that's you're a crazy person. You are an unstable lunatic if you think everything is coded and the coding just happens to match whatever bizarre thing you've grasped onto. You know, and if the writer of this show is doing that and playing this game, thank you for putting that up, then I have no respect for that crap at all. This is the worst. You know, remember we talked about this. We were going into this. We're like, we hope this, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I held out. I said, I don't know. This could all go sideways. And if I'm to take this stuff as being, that's what they intended, I should say I think intended, then this is the worst self-insert BS, couldn't be more trite garbage that in existence, right? That's my opinion of it. Again, this coding thing is just, it's like, I guess it means something to you because you're looking for this nonsense, or you've been trained and groomed into thinking that this is what storytelling is. That's not what storytelling is. You should actually tell a story. Anyway,
I pulled the rant thing off a little early. I mean, I'm a little closer to this stuff because I hear it from my teenaged daughters who know a bit about this. So, they're much more involved in this kind of stuff because this is their generation type thing. So, I mean,
yes, they're infected with this coding.
Yeah, I generally agree with your points about coding and that sort of thing. Now, I don't agree that a story has to be completely clear. There are excellent stories that are written and you can take them one way or the other. So I think that, that's not necessarily a requirement for storytelling.
Okay, now, but there's an important difference there.
Yes,
there's me putting what I want into the story, or me taking out different meanings from the story.
Yes.
Those are two different things.
I just wanted to make that clear though, because I don't think the writer has to lay out, clearly, specifically,
I agree.
Exactly what they think. And some of the best writing is where you're like, oh, this character acts this way and this character acts this way. And you're like, oh, wait a second. There's a interplay and it can be seen in different ways and it makes you think.
Okay. But what I'm saying is,
can't help you brainwash, but I agree with your point about coding though. I just want to make that.
People will point to something and say, oh, you see, this means this. And it's like, okay, but that doesn't mean that to me because I'm not already pre-groomed into believing that this into the code. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, let me give you one of the ones that let me give you an example of one of the codings. Okay, so you notice that in the pictures, Jack's, like the pictures of the human pictures, right? The real pictures. Jack's is often covering his face, right? Got his hand to his face in these pictures and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Well, apparently that is, I didn't know this before. I just found this out today. That is sort of a code towards some trans people, because what they say is I don't like, there's not many pictures of me. I don't like looking at pictures of me before when I was this.
No, they do that after. They do it after as well. And why is that? Because you look like the thing you're not claiming to be.
Yes. So covering their face or something like that is if you want to call it a code, whatever. But it's kind of
but it's also something that a bunch of weirdos do that aren't.
But it is an indication to the people in the know that this person might be
okay.
this way,
right? Okay, so here's my challenge to that. So people that are transgender, that is a thing they do, and people that aren't also do it. So how is one to distinguish between those two things when one is a code and one isn't, when it's the exact same thing? Yes, the weirdo with the coffee cup in front of their face, this is a common thing.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, my God.
I didn't think people normally did that.
All kinds of weirdos do that.
People do that all the time? When did that start happening?
Start looking through profiles.
All right, well, profiles. Well, these were more general pictures, but all right. Well, I wasn't aware that people are covering their faces all the time.
Yeah. Okay, but here,
I'm told that it's a thing that some trans people do because they don't like how they look.
Because they're trying to cover up their Adam's apple.
Yeah, or their face, or their whatever. They don't
or their 5 o'clock shadow, or whatever.
They don't look like the thing that they purport to be. And so whenever picture's taken, they try to cover it. But so in that case, could be a signal to people watching the show who are in the know about these sort of things.
Okay, so
that's a hint that maybe this character.
Yes, I'm sure it makes sense to them because they have already been pre-groomed to accept this. This is what I'm saying. This is a completely different world, and it doesn't have anything to do with the actual literal portrayal. So let's go to the scene with Ribbit and Jax, right? Again,
there's a couple scenes. Which
the one in the room, and when they're talking in Ribbit's room.
Oh, okay. And we're still talking about coding. Okay.
Yeah.
I know what you're
no, this is actually a literal portrayal. That this is what they show on the screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So they're doing this whole thing. They're having this whole discussion, and Jax, who throughout the show has described himself as a he, oh no, B-Bricks is coming.
You've been lurking, right? All the IRL versions were covering their faces. No, they weren't. If you look at the first,
no, especially not at the bus station, they weren't.
Well, nobody was covering their faces.
In the photographs, they were like you didn't see Pomni
in the photographs. They were not all of them were doing that. No, there's one of the photos with Pomni, and she's there smiling with her friend.
No, that's her friend. Pomni's the one filming it. Or
right. Her two friends are not covering their faces.
Right, but what Bieberg says is correct, that there are other instances of other characters in the real world in photos who aren't showing their faces.
Really?
But yeah. But just on that note, quickly, Jax in the real world is whatever, I forget his name, Leroy or whatever.
Leroy
was also described as he.
Yeah, it was clearly described as he.
And by all appearances appeared to dress like a male. Obviously women can wear clothes that look very similar to males, but he was a delivery boy or whatever. And, and it wasn't like, oh, look, he's suddenly wearing a dress or something. So that's questionable also. But again, this whole, I looked this up. What's trans femme mean?
I don't know.
Whatever somebody wants it to mean, because it's like, oh, well, you see, it's a range of things. It may mean this and it may mean that. And it's like, again, to you, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure you have some definition that works for whatever it is that you, whatever. I'm not here to get into that really, but it's a very broad definition, apparently. But there are people who have gender dysphoria, for example, who like, yes, this is, I feel this way and but don't claim to be something they're not. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that would fall under that category. But getting back to the thing with Ribbit and in the room, someone pointed the whole thing. It's like, oh, Ribbit gave her tie to Jax and put it on his ear. And it's like, oh, you see, that means he's trans. It's like, well, okay, does that mean Ribbit then is not whatever that thing was signaling when she was wearing it? Because she gave it away. So, oh, okay. So do you see how it's like, oh, all this coding doesn't follow any pattern. It doesn't, right? It doesn't, it's just like, oh, it means that. Well, why does it mean that then? Well, because I want it to mean that then. You see what I'm saying? It's a code that isn't the code. It's just a blob of stuff that people assign their own meanings to. Do you see what I'm saying? If it's a code, it has to be consistent.
Yeah, I mean, different. Your left
I'm
ear's
saying,
pierced. That means you're gay, right?
well, okay,
Then that used to
okay,
mean you're gay.
okay.
It
Let's
doesn't
deal with
anymore.
that. You tell me exactly if I'm
I
watching
don't. I
that
don't remember
objectively. Okay,
when we were
if
growing
I'm
up.
watching, well, they used to say right is wrong, and that was from a bunch of homophobes who said that gay is wrong. But I guess that would be the right ear would be indicating a homosexual, as I recall. But
I
that's
don't
neither
remember.
here nor there. The point is, in that situation, okay, you tell me what they actually portrayed there. Could that not be Jack saying that he was gay?
For what?
Oh no, because I don't have the right code that's been pre-programmed into me, I guess, right? You know, that whole conversation with Ribbit and the same reaction, all of that. Could that not have been that he was gay?
I don't know.
That's right. You don't know because it's not a portrayal. It's just something to project their own wants and desires into. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Make the evidence fit their theory. Well, there is no evidence. It's just something for them, for their theory to be projected onto. Let's see. Beabrix is saying in the photographs, Pomni was covering her face with the camera. Ragatha had a picture on her horse riding helmet covering her face. Zubul wasn't pictured. Gangle used drawings.
I'm trying to dig it up because I just watched it and I don't remember. I remember Jack's covering his face, but everybody else.
Well,
maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I in the photographs, I think they were all covered. But again, at the end there,
I didn't notice that
at the bus stop, I don't think they were covering their faces.
No, not at the bus stop. But you see, the difference was the shots that were far away or that were grainy, right? When Jax is delivering packages, he's not covering his face.
Why is any of that relevant, though?
Well, it's not. I'm just saying that whenever it seemed to me that whenever they, you can't really see their face anyway, so that they would cover it when they would, when you would be in a picture or whatever that would be that could be seen. But maybe I'm
okay.
wrong.
Beabrix brings up some good points here. Says I'm a little iffy on the ending because it should have been the ending of the actual story instead of everything that was seeming to become a story just as a vehicle for another type of story. And then also, well, low key, it was personal that he thought would get his mom off his back, and coming out usually doesn't do that. Well, yeah, in any form of coming out, right? It's like, oh yeah, his mom is giving him all kinds of crap, and he's like, oh, here, let me tell you something deeply personal. I mean, that's just, what the hell is that?
Yeah, that was interesting. And he said it's deeply personal. So what deeply personal thing did Jax tell his mother? What could it be other than I think that I don't think I'm the sex that I am, right? Like, does that make sense?
Supposedly that's what it is, I guess. But again,
I don't know that. We don't know that, but
that's what people are claiming. And if that falls into what trans femme is, then I guess. But based on the depiction, how I would love someone to tell me how that could not just as easily be, for example, not the only other thing, but one other thing is that he's gay.
Something like that.
Right. Why is that less valid? Well, because I didn't get the coding message. I see.
Yeah, I mean, if there's other hints that it's a different way, then I mean that's the only thing. But I mean, look, we're old, man. We might not get all the codes, buddy.
I fully acknowledge that the coding thing is something that does not exist to me in that way. I talk about maybe something like symbolism. I don't go into something saying, oh, there's a code here that, I get and everyone else doesn't, because it isn't, because it's just designed to be this thing to pander to these broken people of any sort. I'm not saying this is like one group does it. A generation does this. 2 generations do this crap for whatever. It's like, oh, there was a whole thing about Starfire from Teen Titans. Oh, see, Starfire is coded as XYZ. It's like, no, you're insane. No, it isn't. And people come up with the coding explanation 30 years after the character was created. It's like, oh, well, now you see, I need to claim this for me. So the coding is what I want it to be. This is nonsense. This is insanity. Put up the rant thing.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Bieberg says, I think the circus members not being able to see their in real life counterparts' faces represents the fact that they're two separate people and now they never get to know themselves. Maybe.
Yeah, that's that could be good too.
Yeah. Okay. But I don't know why any of this has. Again, I'm just looking at the portrayal, right? I'm watching a show. If I'm somehow expected to know some kind of code to understand the story, then that's not a particularly good story.
Well, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to know it because it's not made for you.
Well, I said that from the beginning, and I said that earlier, and you disagreed with me on that. It's not made.
Well,
who is it made for then? Grooming victims?
I don't know.
Well, that okay. So
I finally found it. I'm just scanning through.
I can't speak to the mindset of people that don't deal with reality. And again, I'm not talking about a particular group of people that don't deal with reality. I'm talking about a generation of people that don't deal with reality. I'm just saying from the portrayal, what I'm watching on the screen, if they all say, oh no, it's this, it's because it's coded to be this. Well, that's not what it's literally showing.
Okay, but let me sorry to interrupt for a second. Yeah. But let me just ask, you do agree that there can be, writers can put hints about certain things, within a story, right? Like,
sure,
like I can write something and
yeah, of course,
you write a military story, and military people would know that if regular people might not know, but if you say a certain thing a certain way, we all know that means this, but a normal person would know that, right?
Right, but you could point it out to me, and I can go, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yes.
Okay, so you point this out, and I say I still don't get it. Well, it's this. Well, why is it that? Like I just said, why couldn't it be this instead?
Yeah,
you see what I mean? It's like, okay, Bieberg says it's kind of confusing, but I don't think it'll change my view of the show. Still like the episodes leading up to 9. The finale still makes me cry because the show has been in my life for a while. Okay, well, mission accomplished. And again, I'm sure it sold a lot of merch. I don't know.
I'm just scanning the you're right. The people, the faces are covered of the people. The friends' faces are not covered, but Pomni's not in the picture. Her face is covered with a camera at the thing. You're right. The horse riding, you got a hat on. You can't really see the face. The face is covering slightly covering the face. It's not fully, but it's far away. You can't really see the face.
Yeah.
I was mistaken with that. You guys, it seems like you guys are right. I thought it was just Jack's, but they're all faces are kind of covered. Right.
So it's not just Jack. So, okay, that bit of coding goes out the window, right? Okay, see you later, B-Bricks.
I guess they're all covering.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
thanks for stopping by. We appreciate your knowledge on the show on Digital Circus. Yeah, I'm sorry you got to go. You could fill us in with a little bit more on. You're always good on the show and bringing up good points about it and, with details and stuff. Anyway.
Yes, thank you. And JT also thank you for coming in here. So do you understand what I'm saying? Is that if X means if A equals 1, then A needs to equal 1. You can't then just shift that around because the code no longer exists. Do you understand what I'm saying? So and you were just citing this, oh, you see the face covering thing. Now, whether you're right or wrong, I
don't know if I'm right or wrong. That's what I'm being told.
But the point is, you're right. You're being told this, and then you go, well, wait, but it's
no, but you're right.
So that claim falls apart is the point. So it's
Okay, so I mean, you're right. Look, I'm just scanning through it. There's there's the Facebook picture or whatever it is of Kinger, and he is playing with his kids,
yeah.
but he's got like some sort of like it looks like I don't know some sort of shape, like a maracas or something. I don't know what that is. And the picture is taken just when it's covering his face.
Right.
So it
so
seems,
is Kinger trans too?
Oh, he's wearing it's hard to tell. Yeah, he's got two things up in his arm is covering his face.
Oh, okay.
His head is back and his arm is kind of like he's got them up in the air. I don't know what they are. It's hard to tell.
Do you understand what I'm trying to describe?
No, you're right.
This is just I want it to be this. So right now it means this. And it's like, well, what about that then? Well, I don't want it to mean that now, so it doesn't mean that now. Okay, that's not a story. That's not a story anymore.
Yeah, well,
that or a depiction. It's not a depiction that holds water, I guess is what I'm saying. So yes, you're right. Someone could put something in that is not overt and not literal and still supposed to have meaning. And if a creator wants to do that and leave it to be like, hey, yeah, people can draw different conclusions. And that's what Gooseworks did actually say is if you come away with something else, then that's valid according to them. And the point is, I shouldn't have to go to a creator and say, hey, I watched your thing. I watched that. Now tell me what it means.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
I mean
you take what you want out of it.
Fine. Again, take what you want out of it. Don't put what you demand into it.
Okay, there's another picture of the triangle bar,
okay.
And there's 5 people in the picture. 4 of them, and we see all their faces, and it looks like Jax is in the back and has got a glass in front of their face.
Yeah, right.
A drink. So, I mean, I think it seems to me. Oh, there's another. Yeah, Jack's got a drink in his face there. I don't know the other person. It's a triangle bar. I don't think that's Zubul, but yeah, I think Weatherman is right. It's some sort of running joke, not a code thing, because they've all got their faces covered.
But
you don't really see their faces.
So you've heard
even
this, though,
when they don't have their faces covered, the shot is far enough away that you can't really see distinguishing things about their faces.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think Cam's got a good point. It's
okay.
Is it a coding thing? I don't think so. I mean,
okay. If we were to present this exact, so you heard someone say, "Oh, that's this," and therefore
my daughter suggested it to me.
Okay. If you were to go to your daughter, and now maybe your daughter's more reasonable. I don't know. If you were to go to her and say, "Oh no, but this,"
I will so after this. I will ask her. I'll say, "Wait a second,"
and I will bet money she'll say, "Well, no, it still means that." Bet money.
I could. You want me to tell you what I think she'll say?
What?
I think
Dad, what do you care?
I don't know. I think that's what she's going to say. Oh well, I don't know. I think that's what she's going to say.
Well, whatever.
But anyway,
I guess I don't get. I don't care if somebody wants to. It's a bad idea. It's degrading to, and I mean degrading as in diminishing to storytelling to have this kind of amorphous crap. It doesn't mean. It's not to say everything needs to be spelled out and chipped away in stone and everything be explained. But for a story to be literally, it could be anything to anybody. That's no longer a story.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want people being, interpreting things different ways, even if they're wrong. They can do that. But
well, yeah, sure. Right. Again, it's not a matter of taking from, it's putting into. JT says, don't they have a picture at the end at the bus stop? Yeah, they all are. Yeah, they are video. It's not a picture.
It's not a picture. It's video. I got it up now, and they're all standing at the bus stop. None of them are covering their faces, and it's actually
they're not talking to each other either.
They don't talk to each other. They just sort of come up and stand there, and you can see a little bit of their faces. Like, I mean, it's not a clear.
Yeah.
It's a shot. It's like a shot, long shot, like basically from across the street at a bus stop. But you can tell more of their faces than any person so far, than any other shot so far. They're not covering their faces and stuff. You can kind of see even Jack's. And then the bus comes up, and they all get on the bus. And
I would also like to. Okay, so again, I can't claim
that's the best shot of their faces you get. Is that? And this is after the credits. This is an after the credits shot.
Yeah. I will point out a few things. Now, again, the trans femme definition, again, is in itself amorphous. In my opinion, as to why, is so it allows for whatever nonsensical claims someone's making fits, right? But I would suggest that a normal interpretation of someone who is feminine or female would not be called he, right? That would be referring to a male.
Yeah, sure.
So, and I would also point out that Kane said that he built bodies perfectly suited to the mind files of the characters. If we're to believe what they're stating, and that is that, these are mind scans that the AI is producing a body, then why would Jax be male? If the real true mind scan of Jax is female, then why wouldn't he be female?
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, the characters in the show, generally speaking, have voices that are male or female, right? Like
Jax refers to himself as his body as being peak male performance, jokingly, but constantly refers to himself as he.
Yeah.
No one ever refers to him as anything else but that. Even the creator, who is saying he's transfeb, says that he's a he. Okay, I guess in their world that makes sense.
I think it's Kane says something at the very end. He.
Well, that's another thing. Apparently,
at the very end, you're right.
Okay,
there's a bunch of.
From what I've seen, Gooseworks does not appear to be your typical transgender person, meaning the
what?
prevailing statements that would come from someone who claims
a non-activist type. Is that what you're saying?
Seeming so, or maybe like I said, there are people that have various issues like gender dysphoria that don't don't deny reality. That and I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know if they are trans. I think so, but I don't know.
Supposedly,
that for sure.
That's what I'm told. But
and there was something else where Gooseworks said Jax is my self-insert. I think said that outright. And it's like, but again, they're also a troll, that say things that might not be whatever. Okay, whatever. Okay, here's the thing. I don't like self-inserts. I think it's weak and pretty lame. All this crap about Jax, this long amount of time spent on this character. Again, it's not my show. I didn't write it. You could write anything you want, but I thought it was lame and detracted from the larger, much more potentially interesting story. And it's
what would that longer story?
Well, what the circus was about, and what it means to these copies of people.
Yeah.
The question of are they, and this is going to get in. I'm going to ask, is it sci-fi? I was going to ask, the question of are these really people? Even though we know they're literally mind scans, do they deserve to be treated as people? Are they anything more than, they think they have self-awareness, right? Are they alive? Are they people? Yeah. Are they sentient? These are questions one could ask.
Yes.
And one would ask if it were sci-fi. And all of that thrown to the side for this, what appears to be self-indulgent nonsense that doesn't even make sense. And that it relies on coding that doesn't hold up to any scrutiny, much like the whole idea of denying reality doesn't hold up. And it's like, this is the worst possible outcome for this story. It's like you couldn't fall flatter on your face if you tried. That's my assessment of it.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree that I feel that the finale falls flat. It doesn't live up to its potential. The other thing, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with what Cam says per se, but I will say that, this is mainly, the story is mainly, I had this discussion with my daughter. This story, I've expressed this to her, and she's like, she doesn't quite agree. But we talked about a little bit about it, and she made the point to me that, this story is mainly a character study, right? So the plot and I come from a more conventional, idea that, you can do character study, but they're also, the plot is important, and the story and the characters act within the plot. But this seems to be more like, hey, this is mainly about the characters. So when we have the discussion about they just reveal the mind files, boom, it just happens. Or Kane just comes back and everyone's like, oh, well, you kind of jerked us around, but hey, okay, you're okay. I bring those points up, and she might agree, but she also says, well, it's kind of a character study, so maybe the writer doesn't seem to care so much about the study, the story, more about the characters.
Okay, if I was to take a positive view, the most positive view I can, about the point of it being a character study, right? Okay,
I just bring that up, Cam. I'm not saying I'm not defending them.
I'm not trying to deny it. I'm trying to support it. Where could I find that? Okay, well, episode 3 with Pomni and Kinger, right? Having these connections, there are, obviously there's these moments between characters where they connect with each other, and
all the Jack stuff in this episode are all, we're looking at his character.
I guess. I mean,
throughout the entire, we're getting an idea of why he is the way he is. We're looking.
Okay. Okay, what we saw of Jax is a very negative interaction.
Yeah, but people. It's still a study of his character.
I guess well, is it a study of a character, or is it a study of a disaster, of a mishmash of crap that we're supposed to knit together into some kind of meaning? Because a character study should be telling you something in the end, right? I challenge you to tell me, what does it say in the end? What is the result of this character study?
Well, does it have to? Does it have to say anything?
I don't know. Tell me what a character study is.
We do, we see an examination of his character, why he acts the way he acts, where he's come to where, how he's come to where he is. He fails because he abstracts. It's a warning to the rest of us. It's a warning to the other characters. And I think there's some aspect of that in this episode where other characters are saying, hey, we gotta be there for each other. Pomni says right before, right after he abstracts, he comes to her and then he leaves, and she doesn't say anything. She just looks at him, and she says something about, I should have said something to him and tried to, not get him to leave, so this wouldn't have happened. It can serve as a warning. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be successful. It can be a negative portrayal. I'm not saying it's a great character study or anything, just that, it can happen. And I think that's what the show is focused on, as opposed to a real story,
I guess. But if so, and I mentioned this without regard to whatever your interpretation of it is, I think it was very poorly placed in this. That as you're coming to this finale that should have meaning for the whole thing, the whole story is now here. And, the whole story wasn't a character study of Jax, right?
No.
So the way that it was placed in here, taking such a prominent position and taking so much time in this end, where far more interesting, in my opinion, and far more relevant to the whole story, meaning I'm judging it based on what the story set up. And instead we get this thing about one character's issues and their bad behavior and all this other stuff. And it's like, and I'm sitting here, I'm going, what about everything else?
You've gotten a little bit about some of the other characters, but you're right. You get the full story of him as opposed to, a full story about any other character. I will say that this relates a little bit to Pomni as well, because she makes some comments in there about how to Kinger right after in the early part of the episode. She makes a comment about how I try, trying to hold people together, and sorry, just check my notes here. She says, here it is. It's near the beginning. Kinger is saying, how fast you adjusted in days. It took some people weeks and months. Yeah. And then she talks about, I try to uplift everyone, but I can't, or I failed. So, there's some relation to her. Jack's story is about, there's a little bit of relationship there with her uplifting and failing to do so in his case, or at least understanding his character. And, it's too late at this point, but, understanding him so that she could have maybe uplifted him. But yeah.
Yeah. I have, again, there's a lot of undercutting that happens here too, because again, what was it, episode 7, or where they were, the thing about Jax being vegan or whatever, and it's like, hey, you're not supposed to be able to change this. So we've been demonstrated. It's been demonstrated, that Kane not only can but does add temporary modifiers to what they are, changing what they are. I hate to tell you, but what is that portraying to me? It's like, oh, an external influence can be pushed upon you, and suddenly your mind is changed, and you now think something that isn't really you is you. What kind of message is that sending? It's like,
well, you've mentioned this before. Like, who's the worst? If you are a trans person, let's say,
right,
and you're writing a story about one of the characters happened to be trans in it, who's the worst character in this show?
Well, okay,
Jax is the worst character. I mean, he's a horrible person, right?
Let me
even admit it.
Right. Who maliciously pushes other people to the worst thing that can happen to them in the story, which is abstracting, right?
Yeah.
And then eventually himself.
Basically
what?
Death.
Okay. Yeah. So let me use. Yeah. Thank you, Weatherman. Big brother watching. Yes. Okay. So if abstraction is analogous to self-deletion, then what's this saying? That this person, because they can't deal with their reality, or the reality, that they then abuse others, violently attack them in some cases, cause them to self-delete, and then self-delete themselves.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is this a self-loathing thing? What is this?
Yeah. Well, I could be something and still write a story about how horrible, that group that I belong to is, or something is as a warning or something.
Okay.
So, but
absolutely.
I wouldn't take it from let's not say, this person is this, and therefore they have to write a positive story about.
Okay. This gets back to what I was saying. Yeah. I'm not saying you can't do that story. What I talked about before we came to Digital Circus about how people used to be like, oh yeah, sure, my group is portrayed, but they're portrayed negatively. That's a bad thing. Have we fallen to the point now where people are so pathetic and needy and immersed in this identity obsessed nonsense that I will take any scrap you throw me. Oh, look, there it is. They're the worst. It's the worst possible person in the world, but I still am going to cheer this because I'm such a narcissist that that I'm able to project whatever it is that I am onto this character. Is that where we are as a society in our relationship with storytelling?
I will take any negative thing and actually spin it as a positive.
Yeah.
To say that because even if the writer might have intended something else, maybe.
I'm saying these are bad signs for society.
On the other side of the coin is that different coin, maybe, but maybe I'm just old and I don't understand the 20 something way of telling stories. Has it changed? I just don't get it. I'm just too old.
No. I encourage you not to accept that gaslighting, because that's what it is.
Well, I mean,
I'm not.
I'm not gonna.
No, sorry, I'm not crazy for pointing out that what
No,
you're portraying is not valid.
I'm not.
It
I'm not
doesn't make
saying
sense
I'm not
internally
saying I'm
to itself.
crazy. I'm just saying that there are different ways to write stories, and I don't think this is a good way necessarily.
No,
But maybe this is the thing that these people like, right?
You're talking about two different things,
These
though.
ages, yeah.
The ability to write that story is not the same as the reaction to that story, right? If I say, hey, I'm going to write a story about someone like me, and they're the most horrific thing in the world, and I'm showing that I'm choosing to make that a horrific thing, and then someone else looks at and says, oh, isn't that thing that you just portrayed wonderful, because I am like that thing? What the fuck is wrong with you? Green Girl says, cough, Willow Terra. Yes.
Yeah, what's that?
Classic example.
Reference.
Okay.
I don't get that reference. I guess.
Willow, this is in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Willow,
all right.
While they're in college, despite all the portrayals of her being heterosexual, being in a heterosexual relationship, suddenly became interested in Tara, who was a female, a woman. And so the first reaction to that was, well, you see, she's not exclusively, she's bisexual or whatever. And it's
college
like,
girls experiment. Right?
It's just about the person. It's about the person. Well, fast forward a little bit, and suddenly it's, oh no, it's just pure Willow's homosexual and always has been, and everything else was a lie. It's like, oh, okay, so you just pissed all over your own story to placate a bunch of people that glommed onto this and praised you, and you liked the praise more than you liked your own story integrity. And not only that, then of course there's a whole, this is a deep well to go into, but it's and again, praising overtly evil acts because, oh, but I identify with that person, so they can do no wrong, and XYZ. Tara didn't do any bad thing. She was a victim. But that's the other thing. Tara was a victim of Willow's abuse. But they're still the most beautiful couple ever. And it's like, no, it's an abusive relationship, you frigging morons. And you're sitting here cheering it. Well, you see, yeah, of course, because it's the identity thing. So it doesn't matter that it's negative and abusive. It's still the most wonderful thing ever. That's a broken person.
Yeah.
It's getting dark. Yes, it is. Anyway, so okay, I don't know. I think this. I hate to see someone undercut their own story. We went into this through 8 episodes thinking this had potential to rise above the garbage of today, the trends, and I'm not writing the right word here. The pitfalls that modern storytelling falls into. We thought it could overcome that and actually not be that. And it's exactly that. I didn't want it to be. We spent a lot of time on this, hoping it wouldn't be.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, but I'd say that it did not fulfill its potential. There's too many, it was going somewhere, and it didn't quite get where it was going.
While it easily could have.
I think they could spend a little more time. I would probably restructure all the 9 episodes a little bit differently, because to get where we got too fast to where we were. I think you'd need a couple more episodes to get where I wanted it to go. There wasn't enough time left.
I think they should have continued the show, to be honest with you. This was a huge hit. They should have kept this going. Usually I'm like, no, just finish the story you originally intended. They should have continued this.
I prefer a story that ends, but I think that it needs a couple more episodes to come to a conclusion. We should have got the story with Jack. We should have got that with every character, right?
Yes.
To some extent. Why not? And then, but we talked about it in our other video, what, various changes we could make. All right, let me, okay. Is it sci-fi?
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask you. All right. All right, I'll go ahead. Technology impact on the story. Well, yeah, they're in a computer, so yes.
Absolutely.
Sorry, agree.
Yes.
Futuristic elements relative to humanity. We can't put our brains in the computer, so yes. Speculative nature about humanity. What are your thoughts? Sorry, you agree with futuristic elements relative to humanity? Yes.
Yeah, because it's kind of the same answer for technology impact on the story and futuristic element, because the mind scanner is the futuristic element, right? Because we don't have that right now.
Yeah.
But
it's
it's
kind of
kind of
one
the same
episode.
thing.
Yeah, it's one thing. It's not more than one aspect, right?
Well, yes, and I will also argue that I could argue that the futuristic element does not have impact on humanity.
Oh, yeah. It's a futuristic element relative to humanity, but
Right.
there's no impact on humanity because we're just at these characters in the computer, right?
Right.
But
Right. It literally doesn't impact them.
yeah.
But that's kind of a fine line I'm drawing there. I agree.
Okay, speculative nature about humanity.
No.
It doesn't really. Yeah,
right. And again,
because
bear in mind, this is all in relation to these other elements. It's not
right.
just these things by themselves. It's they all have to merge together, and it's not like, oh, this technology that is futuristic has some and we're speculating about its impact on humanity. No,
because there's no tie with humanity and this group of characters in this computer program. They're completely separated, except at the very end where they get some information about their selves, which is, we don't even know if it's true. It could be
but right. Oh, well, and Weatherman says that conscious AI is also futuristic. True. But yeah, it literally, the technology had zero impact on those people's lives, on the real people's lives. They weren't even aware of it.
They're not even aware that these people, these things exist, right?
Right. So all the experiences, all the things actually portrayed on the show, with the exception of those blips we saw from the outer world, had zero relevance. It's not even real to the real world. You know what I mean? It's
the only thing is, I mean, I agree. So, I mean, if I was writing the story of making changes to it, I mean, I would want to see more action, in that area where, what what the characters have learned in the computer reflects on the rest of the on their real selves and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, but I'm also thinking maybe I'm too conventional. Maybe these youngins are doing something different, and I should be more. No, but maybe they just suck.
Okay,
maybe
that's
they
it.
Suck.
Ask them to explain it. Ask any of these things. Say explain it, and the answer will be you just don't get it.
Well, I don't know.
If you can't explain it, then it's not a matter of me not getting it. It's a matter of the explanation not existing.
I would like to ask the writer. That's who I want to ask. I don't want to ask the people who watch the show.
Exactly. Now, I think I mentioned this on the other one, was, the Star Trek episode, The Inner Light, where Picard experienced the life of this other guy.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
With the flute. That's a good, good episode.
Right. Again,
but I don't think it wasn't his life per se. Like, there was some interactive element to it, though, right? Like, it was his life, but it was also, maybe I'm wrong. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think it was merging something, because like at the beginning, it's like he thought he still was like, I'm Picard. What's this crap?
Yeah, he spent the first 5 years trying to escape and
right, because he really didn't. Obviously, he didn't do that. That all happened in the past. There was no Picard there. It was that was a portrayal of how his brain was integrating this information that was being put into him. And by the end, he wasn't even having those thoughts. Right? It had merged to the point where that earliest portrayal of him wasn't even part of him anymore.
Yeah, or he accepted it, or he's like,
right,
here I am.
But the point is, he walked away from it being affected by it, because he's the real person, and that thing that he experienced in his mind affected him.
Well, what's the biggest thing that Picard has missed as a human being?
Family.
And so he gets to experience that. He gets, what is it? I think it's 30 years of family. He grows, he even has grandchildren, I think. So it's, like the problem with that story on Star Trek is that, do we really see him affected by it in later episodes? I don't know that we do, but
well, okay, you got to keep in
but
mind,
anyway,
Star Trek is a very singular,
it is
standalone episode kind of thing. But
yeah.
the flute remains. I mean,
Yes.
he keeps it. So the meaning and the impact on the character was fully established within the episode.
Yes.
And the character continues on, so it's reasonable to assume that impact remained with him.
Yes.
Whether he thought about it every day or anything, probably not. But it became part of him.
Imagine you spent 30 years and then you just woke up and only 30 minutes have passed. You'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like, living in existence for 30, like, and he lived that every day, right? Like, it seemed like 30 years.
Right.
You'd wake up and you go, "What the fuck is going on?"
Right. And there was a similar episode of Deep Space Nine where Miles got, O'Brien got kidnapped or something, and they put him in this prison thing, which was like a simulation.
Yeah.
And he, and eventually they got him out of there, but in his mind, he experienced all that, basically torture and had PTSD from it, and so on and so forth. I mean, they portrayed that, and that's something that he had to deal with. I mean, it's not like they erased it at the end of it. It was just like that. That's not something he's got to deal with.
Let me tell you something a little personal. Sometimes I have, not always, but occasionally I have very vivid dreams. Mm-hmm. And when I wake up, I'm like, what? Like, I'm relieved, or it takes me a few seconds to be like, oh, none of that happened. Thank God, I'm not dead, or that horrible thing that my dream, it didn't really happen. So I'm like, oh, phew. Yeah, it's a normal day. I don't have to, keep hiding from the cops or whatever it was. Right. Was about, like
I've had that occasionally as well, where it's like, and I mean, I'm even like while I'm still asleep, it's like I've kind of come out of it. And I'm like, that's not real, where like my brain is like stepped aside from it, and then it's like, okay, that's not real, but it seems real still, kind of, and then you finally wake up and it's like, oh, okay, that was messed up.
Thank God that wasn't real. Yeah, but it takes a few seconds. Like, where am I?
Right.
Oh. Yeah. Weatherman says, "Yeah, you have." I don't think you mean. You don't mean me specifically.
No, he totally means.
I think he just. I think he means you, Cam. What are you talking about?
Phil from Zig Comics. Well, I think it's Phil.
Hey,
how's it going? Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, good to see you. Okay, so we are we agreeing then? It's not science. I mean, it's got two of the elements. It's not science fiction, Cam says.
Yeah, it easily could have been if they would have done this Picard element where it had some impact on the real people, and they easily could have. And it's like, again, it's like, man, did they just not know about that kind of story existing?
I just think it's not the story they wanted to tell, I guess. What else do you assume? I have to assume that.
Instead wanted to do self-insert crap.
Yeah, characters and all these different characters and their traumas and stuff. And
see, all this,
maybe. I don't know.
All this time, Phil is a comic book writer, and we should have him in for all of these things because he could have commented on it. And he's a youngster compared to us, so he could have the younger set. He might be been able to explain it to us. So, Phil, thanks for coming, but you're a little bit late.
Yeah, next time we do one of these things, you gotta, when we're talking about writing, you gotta be on the show. Tell us about writing, how it's supposed to go. Yes. So yeah, I mean, I think the other two elements in this story are weak anyway. They don't really they didn't go into this thinking. Thing. Yeah, and it's just they're very, like I said, very weak.
Weatherman, he always thinks it's about him.
Yeah, I'm. I am the center of my universe. Everything's about me. So I think, like I said, it's not really a science fiction show. I don't think they were intended it to be science fiction. They're not. The writer isn't thinking, I'm going to write science fiction. They're like, I'm going to write about these characters. It's going to be in a cartoon, and I guess they're in a computer to, that's kind of secondary to what they meant to do. So yeah. So we both agree, I guess, not really science fiction.
Yeah,
It doesn't fit the classical definition, and I'm kind of a classic guy.
Yeah,
so
it definitely doesn't. I don't think most people would identify it as such, but again,
I don't think so either.
We were working from this definition. When I was thinking about it before I looked at the chart again, I'm like, I think it does, but I would have had to call an audible and say it didn't, because it clearly doesn't. I mean, it just wasn't about that. But I don't think it does. It strictly doesn't even fit it. So anyway,
all right. Okay, it's time to sum up. All right, so that's it for the show. I think we talked about our main three things. Talked about Supergirl, Conan, and we rehashed this. And I think that's we'll have to leave it at that. What do we got? Oh, I should check my notes here. What do we got coming up, Cam?
Beats me. Oh, well, we got Babylon 5. Oh, I forgot the name of the episode.
Episode 6, The Long Night.
6. Okay.
Listen, I watched it already.
The Long Night we already watched.
Oh no, sorry. Into the Fire.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm
Which
just
is
guessing now. I should
spoiler.
I think
the end of the Shadow War. Season 4.
I watched it already. I watched it after Thursday or something after our show. I was like, oh.
Okay. Well, don't.
Yeah.
Don't
so I've seen it. I can. I know what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. Rewatch it tomorrow.
Am I disappointed? I'm not saying I'm disappointed. I'm like, how else would you end? I won't say the ending, but I'm like looking back. I'm like, how else would you end it?
I think
they picked a reasonable way to end it.
You'll be shocked at my rating.
Oh, really? Yeah, they picked a reasonable way to end it. The story was good. I think I'm overall happy with the episode. I have to do a second watch again tomorrow or Tuesday probably. But yeah. Okay, so coming up, I'll mention Madman is coming up on Tuesday. His show, where is it?
Quick, wait 1 second. Weatherman, thank you for coming, bro. I'm glad you stuck in there, and
thanks.
Hope you feel better, man.
Yeah, hope you feel better. It's tough, man. Dealing with that kind of crap. I'm just going through. Where is? Madman's going to talk about next week. He's talking about on Tuesday. I'm going to be late for the show, but I will try to be there. He's talking about Citizen Vigilante. Have you heard about that movie?
Mostly from Madman, but yes, I saw a little bit about it.
It's basically Death Wish, a modern version of Death Wish.
Right.
It's what it seems to me. But it's banned in Germany. It could be a little bit, So he's going to be talking about that. He's going to be talking about, we've been lately talking about the box office. So I'm sure he'll mention Supergirl, Toy Story 5, Minions and Monsters, which is coming up. Sorry. You know what? That's the wrong one.
Weatherman gives a membership.
The one. Thank you, Weatherman. Appreciate that.
To Mrs. Boss, no less.
Mrs. Boss she's been hiding. She's hiding in the. Yeah, see you later, Weatherman. Thanks. She's been hiding in the.
No, you don't have to be in the chat to get it.
I thought you were in the chat.
No, it'll pick any member or any subscriber.
Sorry, I was reading off the one from that's next week. That's the week after. This Tuesday, Madman's talking about Conan, and of course Supergirl versus Toy Story 5 for the movie stuff. You know what? He told me he's got a special thing for his little asylum segment. Cam, you remember that one where we did is it true? Is this a true product or not? Remember that?
Yes.
He's got something like that. It's not products necessarily, but he's got. I don't want to give it away, but I'm saying I made a suggestion to him. I take all the credit. It was my idea, and he's come up with a piece that's similar to that. It's not necessarily about products, but it is in that vein where it's like, is this for real or not? So we have to. You'll enjoy that part. I think people like that. Okay, so Jeff has something coming up on Sunday. Independence Day celebration. Oh yeah, he's giving away a bunch of stuff. You got to subscribe, right, to get that stuff. I guess I should subscribe so I get some
Yes.
stuff.
And
July 5th, it's going on. That's when you're doing it.
yes,
Special
and a week from today. And I also put in a link to the show that just ended before this show, where we interviewed Jeff Talanian, creator of Amazing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea, or just Hyperborea RPG.
And there was something. Was there some drama on the?
No. I will talk about
okay.
that offline.
Oh, okay. No drama. People can show up for the drama, but I guess there's not. You must be subscribed. You confirm. All right. I guess I'm gonna have to subscribe soon.
What a jerk!
I'm already subscribed. I'm joking. Come on. I like free stuff though.
Right.
I'm a cheap snob. Yeah. And then next week on this show, who knows what we're doing? Have to figure it out by then. I guess we'll figure. I mean, we figure it out every week, so I guess we'll figure it out. All right. Did we miss anything, Cam?
Jeff has said he wants the stupid jokes.
Oh, he wants jokes. Yeah. I mean, any other important things? Did we miss any of that?
Just to mention that the Babylon 5 is at 10 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday.
An hour earlier than we used to, but we've been doing it that for the last,
Couple
5
weeks.
shows. Yeah. So we're an hour earlier than we have been in the past. But yeah, Daddy needs subs. Yeah, everybody needs subs. After the show, sometimes we have a little after party. We go into the Discord. I don't think I can do that today. I got to get up early in the morning. I spend all day loading stuff up. I got to get up at 4:30 in the morning to drive somebody to work at 5 o'clock. And I've been spending all my time sucking up water and moving stuff around. So I think I need to get some. I need to get some sleep. So I think I'm going to go to sleep. Sorry, after party. Maybe next week. Okay, so that's it for the show. Oh, wait a second. Death Angel Shadow wants jokes. Okay, so Cam, I have a couple. Well, how many do you want? One joke? Is one enough?
Here, let me roll a die.
Let me just
We'll go 1 to 3. How about that?
Okay.
2.
No, you're only getting one.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So today in the World Cup, Canada beat South Africa 1-0. Today's game. Awesome. There you go, Jeff. There's your joke. Enjoy. We know how much you love the World Cup.
That's a poke, not a joke.
So yeah. 1-0. Way to go, Canada. Good job. Take that, South Africa. Nazi bastards. Yeah. So yeah, there we go. Okay, thanks everybody. Thanks for the show. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure Jeff really loved the World Cup update. That's his favorite thing in the world. He loves soccer, or as we call it, football in Europe. Yeah, and we'll see you next week on the show talking about something. Movie night's coming up soon, Cam. We got to figure something out for that.
Do we? Are we still doing movie night?
You bet. Why not? Come on. Movie night's great. People love it.
Can we discuss this? Okay. Hey, everybody.
What?
Thanks for coming.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.